My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jakey Boy and I are doing our live call-in show. You can join this show, hop on the stream, ask us questions, and our special guest some questions. In just a few minutes, UFC's Isaac Dulgarian will be hopping on live to chat with us and chat with you. So if you are a premium member and you want to hop in here and ask him a question, okay.
He owes me a shirt, I just remembered.
Well, you bought one and he didn't mail it? You have one.
No. When he was my lock of the week and he beat Francis, and I was doing the pop, 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 man, West Chop going crazy. Because I was like a kind of a, it's crazy to think about now.
He was a dog. Yeah.
He was a dog, and it was like controversial. People were like, oh, Isaac, first round guy, but this guy, he's finally fighting a real fighter. He's fought nobody. So it was like a controversial. I was like really excited when he won because he fucking smoked him, obviously, just like I said he would. And I did my celebration. I went, pop, 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 the Midwest Chop, pop, pop, pop. Then I went, and ripped my favorite shirt off my fucking chest during the live stream celebration. So I think he owes me a shirt.
Here's a great little thing. Forget my intro real quick. So we have this. We have Joel, who's judging women. Minty's hot, but I think she might think she's hotter than she actually is. Talking about Minty bets, and then boom, Minty bets. I'm upper average at best. So there you go. There you go. And Joel changed his tune very quickly and rated her a 9. Guys, this is a live call-in show. If you are a premium member, you have full access to us and our guests during this show. If you want to hop on, all you need to do is go to the Premium Alerts channel in Discord or log in at the website, go to your account page, and you will see a call-in show link. If you're not a premium member, become one. It's freaking $10 a month, and we give you the world. This call-in show is brought to you by Young LA. You can check them out at youngla.com. They are literally just fans of the show that decided to support us out of nowhere. Unsolicited support. And now I'm asking you to support them. They support us. You should support them. They're absolutely fantastic. They have incredible stuff, and I just couldn't be happier with what they have done for us. So let's show them some thanks and give them some love. Their whole thing is trendy, high-quality clothes at an affordable price. Like, that is their whole thing, and it's really nice stuff. Before we move on,
You're my boy.
That guy's fantastic. It's incredible. Dude, unsolicited support is the best kind of support. It's not like we reached out. Like, he was just like, love the show. Let me send you some stuff. Then we opened the stuff. We're like, oh, my God, this is nice. This is nice shit.
Dude, he was showing off some prototypes for his watches. I think he's got a watch company that's getting ready to come out or something, and they're beautiful. I honestly thought he was showing off his Rolexes when he was showing off these watches, and I was like, oh, these are his watches. So I just commented on on one of them, like, man, that black one is slick. He's like, I'll send you one once we get. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right. Like, Jesus, that's the type of guy he is. So
yeah, you can just tell he's just a good dude. I'm also a good dude, and I record myself watching fights. Check out the Fight Foods vlog. It is literally the most expensive, the most labor-intensive video that I do. And it gets the least amount of views, but I love it. I love making them, and I honestly love going back and watching them because those are just like legit core memories with my buddies. If you don't know what it is,
I like the one this week. I watched the one this week.
You actually liked it?
And watched it. Yeah, with the because it was interesting. It was like the cooking show, the neighbor explaining the brisket and stuff like that, and seeing the process of going through, and then. I'll be honest, if I wasn't rock hard when he was cutting that thing, Jesus Christ, man.
Dude, I made
and then he's like, let's do the squirt test. And you were like, no, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Angelo. I want to see the meat squirt, baby.
Well, you squeeze all the juice out of it.
I know, but it's like, man, I want to see it. I was edging at that point, and I'm like, hey, let it play, Angelo. Let it play.
Dude, it is crazy. Like, no joke. Like,
that Pornhub thing was funny, too. That made me laugh.
I thought you would like that. I thought of that all by myself. No outside influence.
No,
yeah, I love that little.
Because when you were closing, you know what's funny is it was hidden as well. Because you started with closing the whatever, and I'm like, because at first it was the thermostat, and then it went to
what you do when you get to a hotel room. First thing you do is crank that AC.
And then it was the curtains or whatever, and I was like, is that so the sunlight doesn't get in, so the house doesn't get hot or whatever? So you hit it well, because then it was like boom, boom, and it was like, oh.
Tiffany took a picture of me setting up for that, and I was like, this needs context, because she was just taking a picture of like lotion on the nightstand. Like, no, Tiff, this needs context. You can't just send this to your friends like, oh, I'm leaving and look what Angelo did. Like, no. But I'm glad you liked it, and hopefully the people like it too. I was laughing because I'm like, if Jacob watches this, because I never know if he watches my stuff, I'm like, he's gonna see Bryce and be fucking annoyed that he didn't go.
I did like the caption. Smells good, and then
yeah, smells great.
I could smell him through the video, man. I do appreciate a good smelling man. I mean, there was even I remember being at, because when I went to 285 with my friend, I mean, I was top tier intoxicated and a little bit really fucking high at the same time.
When you met Dana White?
But I specifically remember, well, yeah, that was a different night. That was the night before. But when I was at 285 in the stadium, I walked up to go get beers or something. I was walking back down, and I'm just like, like having the time of my life. I think I'd already met Amanda at that point, and I'm just, and I went, and I turned around and I said, hey, what's your cologne? Like that's how much I appreciate like a good smelling dude. And he was like, oh, I appreciate that. And he told me, and I wish I remember what it was, but I couldn't remember what it was.
I used to have a signature scent, and then I ran out and I should buy it again. It was Bulgari. It was that blue bottle. It smells like soap. Like it just smells clean. It's not overpowering. It's not like, it's just clean. Yeah. In my Guido days, when we would go to the shore and I would blow my hair out, I was Jupe. You know Jupe? No. It was like the like a silhouette of a man was the bottle. Dude, it's the most Guido smelling cologne on the planet. Well, Isaac just popped in. Give us 2 seconds to do this intro. I got to pitch my shit, and then we'll throw you on.
You know what I wore?
What?
Jake from Hollister for about 15 years. Jake from Hollister. It's a good scent.
We didn't have a Hollister at our mall. Just shirtless dudes were standing out there for Abercrombie, but we didn't get the Hollister. Yeah. Guys, if you become a premium member, not only can you call into the show, you'll get full access to everything for UFC Paris. That means the bets, the picks, and the tools, the data analyzer, the prop hunter, the line movement tracker, the DraftKings optimizer. You're going to get Artem's picks and bets, the artificial intelligence. It's freaking $10 a month. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. And we do have a special guest. Isaac, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Yo, what's good with you?
What's
We're
up,
doing
Isaac?
Well, man. Thanks for hopping up.
Angelo.
Here it is. I'm ready. I'm ready. Go ahead. I'm ready.
I got some words for you, man.
Yeah, I bet.
We'll get to it.
I bet. Listen.
Rip him up, Isaac. I'm ready for this. Wait for this.
I was big mad. I did give you, once the dust settled, I was like, yeah, he's fucking good. Of course he's good. And I used you as an example. I did a video today. I didn't put it up yet. But I did a video today basically talking about wrestling and is wrestling ruining some of these fights, right? After we just saw Valentina Shevchenko kind of bore us for 25 minutes, right? I've wrestled my whole life. So I was I love wrestling. I'm a big wrestler. I love wrestling. But it can be boring. And then I was like, but I'm not talking about all wrestlers. There's people like Isaac Dulgarian that will pick you clean up, that will be active on the ground. That's not boring. The control time wrestlers are the boring ones. So
backtrack is crazy, huh, Isaac?
It's not a backtrack.
It's pretty crazy, huh? You get face to face. Things change a little bit.
Yeah, okay. I was big mad.
You said it was dominant, but not dominant enough.
Not fast enough. Took your time. There was a pee break in between. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I thought you had that arm triangle. Some people said he tapped. Do you think he tapped in that first round?
I felt him tap, and I kind of let go of the squeeze a little, and that was my mistake. I should have squeezed the piss out. But,
I was freaking out. Yeah, I saw a little bit on your back. I was like, oh my God, I think he tapped.
Yeah, he panic tapped. It got super tight. But come on, Angelo, what more can you ask for, bro? That's basically a 10-7.
I'll tell you what I could ask for. Under 7.5 minutes. No, I'm just fine. Like, I was legit mad, but not mad at you, right? Just mad at like, fuck. I should have seen it.
You can blame Yusuf for that. He was telling me not to finish him the whole time.
Son of a bitch. But you looked like you were trying to finish, which it was such a cock tease. I was like, here we go. All right. That takedown was instant. You're wailing on him. I'm like, oh, thank God we hit the bet. We're good. And then I'm like, wait, what? Hold on. But he was in 100% survival mode. And, I've done jiu-jitsu.
He landed 3 significant strikes, Angelo. Isaac fucking smoked him.
Oh, 100. But I'm saying he was in survival.
It's one-way traffic.
If the only thing you're doing is trying not to get finished, and he was doing that and, doing it pretty well, honestly, for a little bit there.
He was. He's doing a good job at just defending. And it was kind of annoying because I was like, you got to do something to try to win.
Yeah.
Brother. Got to do something because he kept doing the same thing over and over. So we're just being patient, taking our time, just beating him up until he gave me the finish, and that's what he did. I broke him. He didn't want to be in there anymore, and he tapped with the last arm triangle. That's how it went down.
Oh, and it was literally it was as dominant as it could be. Other than finishing him a little earlier, it's like what else could you have done?
What else could you have done, Isaac? Yeah, that's right.
Finish
that's
him a little earlier. Yeah, finish him a little earlier. Everybody would have ate, and it would have been fine. But so going into that, you were the biggest favorite in the history of the sport. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
You know it now, but did you know it then?
I definitely heard about it. Everybody kept telling me, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Does it add like an extra, like, dude, I don't give a shit. Don't tell me these things. I don't care. I'm just trying to do what I got to do.
I mean, a little bit, man. Honestly, it like if you lose and you're the biggest favorite in UFC history, like you're gonna have to delete your social medias, brother. Like,
oh, I'm sure. Well, what I'm sure is crazy. So, like, if people don't know what's going on here, so obviously we all picked Isaac to win. It was dominant. It went exactly the way we thought.
I had him by sub.
I bet so you got exactly. I bet on the under 1.5. It was looking good. Didn't happen. And then I was that meme of the fat dude picking Cheeto dust out of his belly button, being like, whoa. And so I was pissed. I'm like, God damn it. What the fuck? Furious. But, I'm just pissed in my own little world. Oh, he left. No, his internet. Well, here we go. I thought you left. No, yeah, your internet cut out.
No, I got tired of you talk. That's all.
Yeah, it's like this guy. But so I got mad, but in my own little world.
Welcome to my fucking
hate?
life every day, Isaac.
You just gotta listen to it.
Oh my God.
Did you come off a dominant win and people still hated on you?
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't make sense. They're like, oh, you should have finished in the first, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, we're fighting in the UFC. Nobody at this level is bad by any means.
Yeah.
They might be bad compared to some of the other guys, but they're not bad. And, my whole game plan was to be patient and let the finish come, which is exactly what happened. And I also showed that I can finish in the second half of the fight. A lot of people are saying, I'm going to gas. Look in that fight, who was gassed? I wasn't tired at all. My last fight with Christian was my first time going 3 rounds. I never did that. And it was a tough fight, and he was fucking grease. So, I don't know where people get that from. But that's how it is, man. And, we're just going to keep getting better and keep pushing. So, screw them. That's what they think. A lot of people are saying, oh, he sucks because he can't finish his can, blah, 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 blah. But you know what it is? I got the finish, and, I put on a performance, basically 2 10-7s right in a row. If there is such a thing as a 10-7, that's what it looks like, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. What impresses me the most when I watch you, technically, and I've never really seen anybody really do this except for Khabib. And I've heard him talk about it before in his wrestling and his top control, especially in your mount, that you shouldn't need your arms when you're mounting on somebody. Your leg control and the way that you position your legs and keep control with just your legs is absolutely incredible. And that's why you're so live for all these TKO finishes, because you're just free to just do whatever you want with your hands. It's incredible. How long does that take to learn? Because that's amazing.
Brother, it's a lifetime of riding dirt bikes, messing around with some bulls, and riding people out. That's a lifetime of it. So if I can ride a bull and ride a dirt bike, I can definitely ride a person.
There you go.
Where are you?
I saw those KTMs too.
Kansas, brother. Small town Kansas. Grew up in Paola, Kansas. I was born in Fort Scott, small town, and then grew up in Paola, another super small town. And one of my buddies, he grew up riding bulls, and so I'd go over to his house, and we practice a little bit. I'm not a professional by any means, but it's something that I do want to do when I'm done fighting.
Sure.
That's crazy. Ansel doesn't know about that Midwest life. I'm from Indiana. I grew up in Indiana, so I knew about that. I saw you have those KTMs, right? You're about to get out of the garage. I was a wannabe dirt bike guy in high school. I begged my parents for a dirt bike. They finally got me a Honda XR80, and I was zipping. All my friends had like Yamaha fucking 125s, just zipping around. I'm on my XR80, just brrr. I had all my Fox. I had all my Fox gear. I wanted to be that guy so bad. Have you done? Do you just ride for fun, or you do hair scrambles and stuff like that?
No, I used to race. I used to be actually better at racing than wrestling for a long time.
Really?
And then at one point, it came down to hey, you got to pick one. And my grandpa wanted me to wrestle, and so that's kind of what I naturally gravitated to. But yeah, now I just ride for fun because if I get too competitive and I'll hurt myself.
They look like nice bikes. What are those?
Yeah, they're both 2022 KTMs. One of them I actually just bought right before the fight. One of them's a 125, the other one's a 150. So
Okay.
yeah, we're getting those out tomorrow. We're gonna go camping, and I'm gonna ride all day tomorrow. Then we're gonna camp tomorrow night, and then ride all day Saturday. So
Awesome.
it's gonna be a good
Oh,
weekend.
and before I forget too, congratulations on the daughter. That's exciting. Growing the family, beautiful family that you have. So congratulations on that. And maybe you and Angela can find some common ground on raising kids. Angela, you can help them out. Let them know
I've
how it's
only
going.
got girls. I only know how to be a girl dad.
Oh, you only got
And
girls?
honestly, I've got 2 little girls, 5 and 7. And honestly, it was kind of a relief because, like, I wrestled forever. I coach wrestling. And I was like, if I have a son, that's all it's going to be. Is he going to wrestle? When's he going to wrestle? Like, he's not good at it. Why isn't he good at it? He's not as big as you were. And it's just like, as soon as I had girls, I'm like, because I wanted boys. You're just a man. You just want boys. We did the gender reveal. It was girls. I was Jacob was there for one. I was legit disappointed.
Yeah, he was pissed.
I was like,
fucking pissed.
But then, like, now I've got 2 girls. And I'm like, I'm so glad there's none of that outside wrestling bullshit. It's just, these are my girls. They'll do what they want to play soccer. They want to cheer. Great.
Yeah.
There's no dad comparisons.
I was kind of upset too, but honestly, now I'm actually kind of happy. I'm like, boy, it would be awesome later when I'm done fighting, but having a girl right now is awesome, and hopefully she likes dirt bikes. I can't force her to like it, but hopefully she's gonna grow up around it, and hopefully she likes that. So then we can just go mess around all day.
There you go.
Yeah.
What is your wrestling background? Like, when did you start, and how far did you go?
I started when I was 8.
Okay.
Won multiple youth state championships, and then in high school I was a 3-time state champ. I was supposed to be 4-time. I got disqualified my sophomore year. It's on YouTube actually. If you type it in, this kid, I ducked him and got behind him, and he tried a Granby flip. He landed on his head, broke his neck, and I got disqualified for that. So
why'd you get disqualified? Did you pick him up?
The ref made a judgment call. He thought I picked him up, but the kid Granby.
It was a standing Granby?
Yeah, standing.
Oh.
And he just landed on his head. So I got DQ'd and then won the next 2 years as well as my freshman year. And then my true freshman year in college, I made it to NCAA finals. Was winning until the last 12 seconds probably. I won the whole match. I was wrestling Destin McCulley. He's an awesome wrestler. Ended up being a good friend of mine and someone that I always looked up to before I wrestled him in the national finals. And then, in the last 12 seconds, my coaches were telling me to run. They're telling me to run, and I'm not like that. I'm stubborn, and I hold the ground, hold the middle, and it bit me in the ass that time. Which happens.
Yeah.
Happens.
It is funny that, like, that mindset and that strategy, like, in wrestling. I never got nearly as far as NCAA finals, but I had a big match. It was New England's. I was up, States. I was up, and it was the same type thing. Like, you're good. You're up. There's not much time left. But I shot because I'm like, I'll just shoot. I'll just hang on to this leg, and I'm good. But I got sprawled on, spun behind me 1 by 1. I was like, oh, my God. Just back up. Yeah, just circle her back up. Blew it.
Yeah, and then in my state championship wrestling, championship wrestling match, it was wild. I was slamming this guy back and forth, left and right, choked him out. The ref's like, you can't do that. I'm like, fuck you, ref. You don't know shit.
Yeah, big Jake. So we had Yusuf Zalal on here a couple weeks ago. He told.
Oh, I got his shirt on.
I see that. Yeah, the Market Devil.
I've got yours too. I've got the. I don't know where that's at, but I have you one.
Yeah,
the Midwest Chopper sweater. Yeah, I have one of those as well.
He told some wild story that he was taking a shower and you used a dead squirrel as a puppet and just popped in on him.
Yeah, that's true. It's a true story, man.
So what's going through your mind? You're like, let me gut this squirrel real quick and turn it into a sock puppet?
Yeah, so basically, my dogs got to the squirrel and killed it, obviously. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let the squirrel go to waste. So obviously I skin it and I feed his meat to my dogs. And I'm like, I have the squirrel skin sitting outside my house. And I'm like, oh, all the guys are in the gym and they're all like city boys. They don't do this type of stuff. And so I just went in and started messing with everybody I seen with the squirrel. I mean, have you ever skinned a squirrel? Have you seen how it's done?
I've seen how it's done. You rip it like a rabbit, right? You pull it off.
Well, yeah, you basically take its shirt off.
Yeah.
And it goes over its head. Yeah, so I took his clothes off real quick and put them on my hand and walked in the gym, and I had him like a little puppet just fucking with people.
That's so funny. I can't
That
stand
is
them
great.
city boys, man. Like Angelo. I went fishing with Angelo one time. He's like,
What are you
"Get it off the
talking
hook for me. Get
No,
it off the
he's
hook.
just making
We're
shit
just
up.
catching we're just catching bluegills." He's like,
He's just
"Take
making
it
shit
off
up.
the hook for me. It's nasty."
I'm not even a city boy. That's what's funny. I talk like this, but I grew up in Connecticut. We went fishing.
That's
we did
the city.
I didn't
That's
do a
not the
dirt bike,
Midwest.
but we had a quad. We made poison out of berries, built dams in the woods, all the bullshit, all the little kid woods bullshit.
I don't believe it.
Shot cans with a BB gun, all the things.
I don't fucking believe it. Corn
Are you
cobs
a-
with the corn cobs with the 22? Well, you
There's
shoot
no
corn
corn.
cobs with the 22.
There's no.
That's
corn in
leveling
Connecticut.
up. That's not a BB gun with cans. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah,
and
they
speaking of, go ahead.
They all just think I'm a redneck, and it's pretty funny. So
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know about your honeybees and how do you get started in that and where you're going with that colony, because you have colonies and stuff, right, of your own.
yeah, I have 3 right now. I only have 3 because I have them back in Kansas City at my grandparents' house, and they're just old, so they can't work them like they need to be worked. So I don't want to get more. But yeah, man, I got into it. I was in college. I had no money at the time, and I read a book or 2 about bees, and I just got super drawn into it, just sucked in. And I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to get some and get some hands-on experience. So I bought like all the stuff I would need for one hive. And it was like a big investment. It was like $2,000 to get all the stuff. And then
How do you get that stuff? You go like bees.com or something? How do you-
yeah, basically, yeah.
It sounds like a business where you have to like know a guy to like, oh yeah, I'll get you the stuff for you.
Yeah, so the first ones, I actually found a local guy that has a bunch of hives. But the first ones I got were shipped from Texas, I believe, up to Kansas City. It was just like a crate of bees, a queen, and yeah, all the worker bees and stuff. And I got them.
Wait, they're just shipping boxes of bees. Hold on,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just ship like boxes of bees through the mail.
Yeah.
I worked at FedEx at the airport, and I would process packaging. And a lot of times on the overnight stuff, there would be like live fish and stuff we had to process. I never thought in my wildest dreams that one of these boxes was gonna be full of fucking bees.
Yeah, bro. It's just like a wood box with like a mesh side panel so they can breathe. And yeah, it's pretty badass. You get like, I don't even know, probably 1,000 bees in there. It's pretty crazy.
Jesus,
And
I
then-
might just send a box of bees to Angelo's house.
they're free. They will be freed immediately.
But yeah, man, I did that and got some hands-on experience with them. And then, that colony grew and I was able to split it into 2 colonies. And then those colonies grew and I split them into 3. And basically that's how I did it. And I didn't really have any issues with them right from the get-go. I had one colony die in the winter of 2 years ago, but ever since then they've made it through and everything's been good. So I just harvest the honey. I actually did a honey harvest last week when I was in Kansas City, and I got like 60 pounds of honey or something like
That's what I was
that.
gonna ask.
60 pounds of honey from
of one
three,
from one
just
colony.
from 3
Or all
clusters.
Yeah, and it was like super dry back home this year too. So I mean, easily could have got 100, but I just wasn't there to work them and plant enough flowers and stuff like that. So and the honey supers got added on too late. Like I said, my grandparents help work them when I'm not there. So just small things like that, they're learning as well. So.
And you're doing it for a hobby, or you're gonna sell? You're looking to sell this honey and build.
Oh, I
something?
sell it. I'm basically already sold out. I might have 1 or 2.
Oh, wow.
left.
Do you flavor it?
No, I don't do any flavors. It's basically raw, natural honey. The only thing I do to it is filter it. I just filter the wax particles out. It's not heated. It's not filtered or anything like that. So it's basically untouched right out of the hive.
That's what I think. That's what Angela doesn't get as well, because when I grew up, one of my favorite things was we had an apple orchard by our house that sold fresh honey, but had honey sticks, and they had a whole wall of honey stick flavors and stuff like that. We would always pick out all the honey and just, oh my god, honey's so good, fresh honey. Jeez.
Well, I'm sure that they had some bees too somewhere out there, because them apple trees, bro. Like if you have bees, it'll over 2 times the amount of apples that you get.
Really?
Just having
There's all the
bees-
pollination and stuff.
Yeah. So they're very good. Like we have an apple tree back home too, and they were just killing it this year.
That's awesome, yeah. Because they literally are like aren't they the most important thing to like the ecosystem Isn't that what everyone says now? Like if the honeybees die, like everything collapses.
Yeah, bro, they do. They do a lot. I mean, there's like some moths that pollinate and stuff like that, and some other bees. But the honeybees, they do play a big part. And then, yeah, if they're gone, you know, all your fruit that you love, you're not gonna have it, brother.
Fuck.
Yep.
It is crazy.
I'm gonna start one. I'm gonna start one in Angel's backyard.
They're easy, bro. Once you figure out what to do, I mean, like they're not gonna come sting you, you know, unless you're swatting at them or like mowing right in front of the hive. Other than that, and as long as you keep enough space for them as well, they're pretty not. Most of them aren't very aggressive.
You know what? Randomly, I found out isn't aggressive at all. I watched a video on it. Is a black widow. This guy was just handling a black widow. And it's like, yeah, they don't bite you unless you really kind of piss them off. It's like, there's no way. There's no way.
I'm not messing around with one of those, brother. No way.
Like that.
We got a couple of questions in the comments for you, if you don't mind. And then we got a couple of callers. We have one question from the Combat Chameleon. He says, what was your reaction to Herb Dean yelling work? And that's obviously the main event to Merab.
I thought it was pretty wild, man, honestly, because there's no reason a ref should be coaching the fighters or advancing their positions, you know. If they're telling you work, you know, that means obviously you can't be laying on top. But Merab was still striking. He was still dominating the position, and they weren't really stalemated, if that makes any sense. Like, they were both still working. If anything, Sean should have been the one working to get up. You know, it's not the ref's place to control the fight like that, because Merab could have easily ended up, or O'Malley could have got up and knocked Merab out, you know, and that's not how fighting should work.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I do think boring control time wrestling, it's part of the sport. It's within the rules. It is what it is. It will long term have a negative effect if people are just bored by the sport, right? And that just takes over. But that's not what Merab was doing. Merab was he was working. Like, what else do you want this guy to do?
I was all over Sean. I had no issues with how Merab fought that fight.
Yeah, I like the fight. It wasn't boring to me. You know, he was working on top. He wasn't really hanging out like you see some of these guys do. Especially like someone like me. I don't like to hang out on top and just grapple. I like to cause damage and, you know, try to finish the fight. So I think that's what he was trying to do. I mean, he might not have been trying to finish, but he was definitely still striking.
Oh, he was staying busy. We have another question.
And he was giving kisses. That was cute. I saw somebody added that to the official stats. How many kisses Merab gave to Sean. That's so fucking funny.
316 awesome. Immortal says, Isaac, I always wondered, are you Armenian?
Yes. I'm part Armenian and part African American.
Oh, there you go.
Very easy.
And we do have a caller here. I'm going to put Gucci on. Gucci, you got a question for Isaac? You're muted, bud.
My bad.
You're good.
Okay. First off, it's a pleasure, Isaac. It's always been fun watching you fight.
Nice love, brother. Thank you.
Right, thanks. So I'm going to try to get my money's worth and get two of them. Just pick one or both, whatever. Do you sometimes when you're fighting somebody or training, like, do you recognize when you have somebody beat? Like, you can feel it, like the energy off of them? And then the second question, I'll bounce. I know it's people I want to talk to you. If you weren't doing something related to sports professionally, what would you want to be doing? So that's it. Thanks for getting me on.
Yeah, man, you can definitely tell when someone is done or tired. Usually when you take them down or you end up in a hard position, they go, just like kind of feel their energy, just like, oh.
I felt that. I grappled with Angelo, and the second he got on top of me, I did the same thing.
But they'll use like their last burst of energy, and then they'll be like, oh shit, and you definitely feel that. And then as far as the second question, man, professionally, I would definitely always do a sport just because I'm active. I couldn't see myself working at a desk job, but I would be pursuing motocross instead of MMA or wrestling.
My brother-in-law, I haven't asked enough questions of him to know a ton, but he was a professional motocross racer for a while, and then he had his kids, and he was like, all right, I gotta. So now he started selling cars, and now he's got his own car dealership. But he did that forever, and now he'll come out here. He lives in like wherever the hell, Louisiana. So it's pretty country there, and then he comes all the way out to Dallas to do some competitions or motocross.
Money in that sport's hard to come by, just like UFC. You know, you gotta be good to make the money. So you gotta be like top 5, top 6.
Yeah.
To be
Ricky
well
Carmichael.
Yeah.
That was the guy when I was a fan of the sport. That was the guy. It was Ricky and who was the other guy? It was like a back and forth between the two guys. I can't remember who the other guy was.
There are plenty of battles. Chad Reed, James Stewart. He was one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, Bubba Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Bubba. I remember Bubba. Yeah, he was wild, man.
That dude was crazy. He was crazy good. I want to meet him, bro. He's one of the guys that I want to like. I don't get starstruck very often, but he's one of the guys I definitely would be.
Yeah, he was a wild dude. I have I think I have Travis Pastrana's autograph, but I don't remember how I got it. I can't remember if he was at like a meet, because I used to go to the Supercross when it was in town in Indianapolis too, when it was in the RC and stuff. So I'd go to that. I'd go to all my friends' hair scrambles and stuff. I was like a little a groupie to my friends when they were going. I couldn't do the dirt bike races, but I'd be there. Woo, go, sitting there in the woods cheering them on.
That's
fucking
funny.
loser.
So before you hopped on, Jacob and I were talking about that fight with C-Rod, quite literally the worst robbery I've ever seen. The second worst robbery I ever saw. I don't know if you watched UFC that long ago, but it was Matt Hamill and Michael Bisping. Matt Hamill was the deaf guy, the only guy who beat John Jones. He beat the shit out of Michael Bisping and didn't get that decision. Yours was worse because Matt Hamill won with like control time and takedowns. You dominated that fight. You know that. Most reasonable people know that. What was the fallout after that? You officially had a loss, but like, was the UFC like, that was bullshit? Like, you're good in our book. Like, what came of that? Or was it like, yeah, nice try, but better luck next time kind of thing?
I didn't really speak to anyone in the UFC, but I think they recognized that I definitely won that fight. People were going crazy, and when all media scores it for you, that's pretty wild. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like, there was no like second guesses about it. So for me personally, it was hard for me to feel like I lost, because I always felt like when I lost, I would get beat up and the guy would just be better. And it wasn't the case this time. Obviously, got tired in the third round, but the first 2 rounds I was winning very easily. I mean, there's a 10-8 and a 10-9, possibly could have been a 10-8 if I would have just put a little more damage on. So then the third round, he did look good visually. It did look bad, but he wasn't hurting me. I was completely fine. I was talking to my coach while he had me flattened out. I was like, I'm good. He was just telling me not to get stuck there. And, I was the one smiling at the end of the fight. He was looking at the floor. His whole team was looking at the floor. Duke Rufus and all those guys wanted to scream all sorts of crazy stuff. So, yeah, man, it was just one of those things where I couldn't feel like a loser, even though I lost. I felt like I won the fight, and against a guy that was tested, and he was like, I think 10-1 at the time, I believe. So big jump up in competition for me as well. So it was a good experience to know, okay, I can do this. I just have to work on a couple of things and kind of be patient. And that's exactly what we did this last fight, was just be patient and find the finish.
Yeah, Angelo, you dumbass.
If I knew the game plan was be patient, I would have made adjustments.
Listen, talk about that C-Rod fight too. I honestly don't think you get enough credit for surviving that third round, because it was obvious that you were obviously in a bad situation. But I've watched a lot of fights. I don't know if there's any other fighter that doesn't end up fucking quitting, because that was a long time that you had to fucking like really kind of gut that shit out. And I honestly don't think you get enough credit for everyone talks about like, oh, it was a robbery, and we all agree it was a robbery. But the haters are being like, yo, he got mauled in the third round. It's like, no, he was fucking surviving. Dude, 99% of people fucking quit in that situation. I don't think you get enough credit for how tough you were.
Yeah. I learned a lot about myself, man. I learned that I won't quit on myself, and that even when things are super hard, and you got to take this with a grain of salt. That was my first time being in that position in my life, and so I learned a lot from it, and I don't think that that'll happen again. I don't think that he could do that to me again, but also, when we got done with the fight, I didn't have a single bruise on my face. Like, I was completely fine. Didn't have a concussion. Didn't get a cut. I was just tired, and that's all it was.
Yeah, you literally were just exhausted. It wasn't a skill. It wasn't a skill gap. It wasn't a danger gap. It wasn't a power. It was literally just you got tired.
Yeah, and I mean that
'Cause
comes
the
a lot
output.
with yeah. Because the output, and I never pushed that hard for that long, and I was constantly looking for a finish that fight. I probably had like 6 or 7 submission attempts,
Ooh, that
and so
necktie. Whew.
yeah, it was close. It was
Oh,
close. It was very,
Jesus Christ.
you know,
You know
the,
what's so weird is I don't even know. I've never grappled, but I've watched the sport for long enough now to where I understand certain submissions or whatever. But some of them I'm still like, I don't know what that is. The second you hit that, I was like, Peruvian necktie. I was like, I know what that is, and just because it looks so fucking wild, dude.
yeah, it was very close. It slipped off over his head. That's one of the reasons why I was like, this is kind of sketchy, because I was like,
A
bro,
little too slippery.
I was like, that's crazy. I was like, that's never happened to me. And we go through sweaty practices. So I'm like, that's wild. But it is what it is. I missed it, and kept looking for finishes, and he just kept wiggling his way out. And that's just how the cookie crumbled, man. Can't control
Honestly,
that.
it's probably one of the, once you finish your career and go look back at it, it might be one of the best things that's happened to you in your career. Literally.
Oh, I mean, it was such a
Get it out of the
blessing.
way now. Yeah.
I actually made probably 3 or 4 times as much money losing that fight than I would have if I won. So many doors and opportunities open for me.
Sure.
And so it was one of those things that was weird where it's like, oh, you lost, but you also just changed your life at the same time. Like, it was really awkward. And I was like, this is crazy. I don't know. The world works in crazy ways.
Yeah, the best thing too is you learn, and you said that in that third round, you learned something about yourself. The one thing that separates good from great, especially in this sport, is where is that quit button for somebody. And a lot of fighters are really, really good fighters, but they find that quit button pretty quickly, and it keeps them from really achieving great things. And we fucking learned in that third round, your quit button is fucking, I don't even know if you know where that quit button is. There's no, I don't think, if you can get through that, you're not going to press that fucking quit button. And that's you can't teach that shit. So.
Yeah, 100%. That's just that's years of going through bad situations. Not that bad, but going through bad situations, being put in bad situations, and persevering and not quitting. That's the biggest thing. You just can't quit. And I think Brendan, my last fight, did a great job in that first round of just not quitting.
Surviving.
He could have taken the easy way out. So he's definitely a tough kid. His skill set might not be all the way there, but he's a tough kid.
Yeah,
he tried
to bring that knee too in that second round. Did you see that when you had the last second, like, oh shit, or you were good with it?
As soon as the bell rang, he started running at me. I was like, okay,
here we go.
Ben Askren, yeah.
Well, the thing is I know that that's what people want to do. They're like, he's gonna shoot. We're gonna try to knee him in the face or shoot an uppercut and try to catch him. That's what they have to do. And I'm like, okay, I know that's happening. I put my head in the right place and finish the takedown.
So you mentioned before that squirrel story. Your dog's got that squirrel. Are you a hunter? Are those hunting dogs, or they're just wild ass dogs?
They're wild ass dogs. I use them. I use them almost like hunting dogs. Like, they don't hunt, but they will always. I shoot things and they'll go get them and stuff like that. So, and they fucking, I don't know if you've seen, I posted on my Twitter a long time ago, they killed like a 35-pound raccoon out here.
I remember that. I remember you holding that goddamn thing up.
Thing was about as big as me, bro. Like,
you were like this big.
Yeah, dude, he was huge. And they fought him in front of my car. I caught it on my dash cam. And I'm like, this is crazy. These dogs are wild.
That is crazy. Raccoons are wild too because they're athletic. They've got teeth. They've got claws.
They got fingers, man. They could grab your fucking neck with those hands they got.
Yeah, they're just savages, man. And one of them's the mama, and she's a fighter. She's just like me. She took after me. She's a fighter. And then the other one, she's like, I'll tag along if you do it.
Yeah, ride or die. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. I got into hunting last year. I've always shot guns forever because despite, again, the way I talk.
When he talks about hunting, he shoots doves.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this.
He's not in the woods hunting
That's
elk.
where I'm going with this. I'm in you people's cornfields. You Midwest love your corn. I'm in a cornfield shooting birds.
With
but
flip-flops on and cargo shorts.
2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago was the first time I ever did it with a dog. My buddy has a hunting dog, and it's great.
Yeah,
it's crazy. The dog's just like,
you don't have to get out of your chair.
I've never seen a happier dog in my entire life. Like, he just had purpose.
Yeah,
and
that's
as soon as like, pew, pew, and my buddy's like, bird down, the dog's gone. Like, he gets so excited, gets it, brings it back. It's like, this is awesome. This
Yeah.
And then
No,
I just
they're-
got this
they're
stupid
crazy.
ass. my dog is useless. He's soft and he cuddles, but he's pretty useless. And I told my wife, I'm like, listen, he's part Labrador. Like, I think we can do it. She's
Give him
like,
a job.
Yeah.
Gotta give him a job. Brother.
Nah, that dog can't handle a job. I'll tell you that.
It is a wild journey for you in the UFC. You kind of popped up out of nowhere, right? Very, very early in your career. Got an opportunity against, was that short notice against Francis?
No, it wasn't short notice, but I just came off a knee injury. So
Sure.
I was supposed to fight Dan Argueta, and then I tore my LCL like the week before the fight.
So that Francis Marshall in
As
your
the,
UFC debut.
as lock of the week, he was lock of the week against Francis Marshall. Oh, by the way, I said this before you joined the stream, Isaac. I think you owe me a fucking shirt because when you were lock of the week versus Francis, I lost my mind so much when you won. I was the Midwest Chopper, baby, and I went whoom and just ripped my fucking shirt off, and it was like one of my favorite shirts. So I think you might owe me a shirt.
Oh, it's his shirt that you ripped.
No, it was just a random shirt. It was just one of my favorite shirts. No, it wasn't
the
one of
blue
Isaac's
one?
shirts, but
I
he's the reason he fucking smoked Francis Marshall as my lock of the week, so I got fucking excited.
I remember that. Yeah, that shit was funny. I saw that. I was like cracking up. I showed my whole family that video. I was like, this dude's fucking rhyming.
dude, I got a lot of shit. There was a lot of people that, even though you came in as the hot prospect, I mean, you were the underdog, but there was a lot of people when I made you my lock of the week, say, oh, he's never fought somebody like Francis. I'm like, guys, I don't think you understand how good fucking Isaac is. He does whatever the fuck he wants to do in there, and then sure enough, boom, mount, boom, there's the elbows. I told you so.
Yeah, and he looked good his last fight too.
No,
He looked great. Yeah, he looked great.
No, that win is aging like wine for sure. Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah. It was a good experience, man. To go in there and do that in the UFC debut was crazy. You know, a lot of my teammates have lost their UFC debut. You know.
Yeah.
So to do that in a UFC debut is crazy. I'm still kind of salty I didn't get a bonus for that performance. That was an awesome
crazy.
performance.
What else happened on that card that you didn't get the bonus? I can't remember the card.
The Marcus McGee kid knocked out JP Buys.
Oh yeah, Marcus McKee. Oh
But
yeah.
JP Buys gets knocked out by 25ers.
Everyone, yeah.
Everybody. Yeah,
Poor
literally
JP,
everybody. Yeah.
That guy's been through a lot. That poor JP, man. That poor guy. He was a lock of the week of mine at 1.2, and
Cody Durden knocked him out when he was your
that did not work out.
Yeah.
But so that was your UFC debut. Francis at the time was a guy that UFC was pushing, good-looking kid, had a go undefeated at the time or a great record, like was doing all the right things. And that's your UFC debut. You blow through him, and it's like, whoa. And now here you are, only a couple of fights into the UFC. You're still very early in your actual career, and you've built a name for yourself. Like you're a name that people know, and a lot of it has to do with A, your fighting style, of course, and B, that controversial fight got people talking. And at the end of the day, that's what matters in this sport. You were a name that people recognize, and your name is recognized for two reasons. One, you got robbed, and two, you go out there and you have exciting fights. So it'll be interesting to see like the evolution. Are there talks of your next fight or when? You have any idea or anything like that or no?
No, I start training next week, so we'll be ready for short notice. I don't know if I'm going to get a fight before the end of the year because they're already booking through December. So most likely.
You need to try to get on that. I'm going to go to that Tampa card. You want to try to get on that Tampa card, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to be their VIP, man. I'll be fucking loud as shit. Fucking.
Yeah. Anyway, I just want to fight outside the Apex. So whatever it is.
That's what I'm saying, man. Gotta get you.
I always dreamed of being in the arena. I miss fighting in front of crowds. You know, my last fight in front of a crowd was FAC when I won the title and got signed. So definitely looking forward to that and something I always dreamed about.
Yeah,
Apex has to be
that Tampa card, or in a couple weeks, Evloev needs an opponent. Salt Lake City. You ready for Evloev? You ready for that wrestling? The Russian wrestling?
U.S. wrestling all day, brother. Let me tell you. I know how the Russians get down. They try to play like calm, and then boom, explode. I already know.
Just go right after it. Yeah, don't wait. Don't sit on it. Don't wait.
Do you have a name that you want to fight? Is there any name that you're thinking about, or?
No, I haven't got to think about it too much. I just think someone around my spot in the division. I don't want to jump too fast, like you guys said. I'm still young and still learning. So someone around me.
I would. You know what? I'd call out Yusuf. I think you smoke Yusuf. I think you call out Yusuf. I think you just.
Yeah. We don't want to see that fight, bro. We're both gonna get fucked up. That'd be all bad.
That's why I talked to him about that. I asked him about your guys, how you guys go, and he's like, dude, that guy is crazy. Talking about you, he's like, he is psycho in there. His wrestling is insane.
He's so fucking good, bro. He's good everywhere. His striking's so good, and since working with me the last year and a half, bro, he's grappling. He's on another level.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it's on another level, and you see it in his fights. You know, he's subbing good guys easily, making it look easy. So, yeah, he's just good everywhere. He's dog, and I think he's gonna do great things for sure, 100%.
He's the glow up he's had in the last couple of years has been.
You know what's funny, Isaac, is Angelo was also a Yusuf hater as well. He was a big Yusuf hater 100%. As well. He was like, this guy was before he fought Billy Q. I was like, dude, Yusuf is fucking good. And Angelo's like, he was cut from the UFC before. I'm like, all right. I'm never wrong, Isaac. Have you noticed? I'm never wrong.
I said he's a technical decision point fighter who's going to hang on the outside, and Billy Q will play that game. But he had the glow up, and he's not that decision point fighter anymore. Now he's coming at people, changed how he fights, and it's incredible. It's working it's perfect.
And he looks like Miguel. Did you see his new cut today, Isaac?
Yeah, I did. He's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, hold on. I sent him this. Hold on. Let me see.
Oh yeah, look at him. There you go.
Look at him. There's him and Miguel, baby.
With a light skin. He's light skin. Bro, you should have seen him on my fight week. I put him in a do-rag.
Look at that guy.
I had him in the do-rag, and he was fucking picking his waves out. I got on the leave-in conditioner, you know. But yeah, he's freaking good, bro. He's an awesome dude as well. He might have the loudest mouth I've ever met in my life. But yeah, awesome guy. Great guy.
Yeah, I could hear him. Speaking of that, I could hear him the whole fight. Some corners you can kind of hear on the broadcast, and some you really can't. You could hear every fucking word Yusuf was telling you in that fucking fight. 100%. He was walking through everything. Yeah,
I could too. I could hear everything. Yeah, this is wild. I'm like, dude, shut up.
So funny.
That's great. Well, you mentioned the honey. Obviously, you got some shirts. Do you have anything else you want to plug while you're here before you head out?
Shoot, man. Just follow me on my Instagram, Isaac_Dulgarian. Tap in with me on there. I try to respond to messages and stuff like that. And then, yeah, man, shout out to all my Armenian fans. Shout out to all my people back in Kansas City. Hope you see me on the TV, man. I don't get to hang out with a lot of my friends back home, so I hope y'all see me on the TV. And, you know, I'm just going to keep building, keep growing, and hopefully next time you guys see me fight, I look like a kickboxer, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah, the evolution will be awesome to watch. You mentioned it a few minutes ago. You're like, I don't want to do. It's still early, so I want to fight somebody around my level, which is huge because if you jump too many spots, you can't go backwards. So then you're just stuck going that direction, which is a good thing, but also like, whoa, hold on, like I'm still here and I'm fighting, number 8. Like, okay,
right.
I need a time to grow. When's that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, like this fight, the game plan was to kickbox. You know, I had my ankles taped up and everything. But then homeboy came out and tried to take the center, and I was just like, fuck that. I'm just gonna, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm just going to beat you up how I do it, and you get up, then we'll kickbox. And then I had to apologize to Tate, man. He taped my ankles. Took like 30 minutes to tape my ankles, and I did one kick. I'm like, man, that's crazy. But yeah, my whole camp, I didn't wrestle at all. I just straight kickboxed. I was training with Chris Gutierrez every day, and he leveled me up a ton. So the cool thing is about that is that nobody knows where I'm at in the stand up, and
yeah, you still have it. Yeah,
I can hang. So I know that, and it's going to take a special person to draw it out, but it will come, and I'm excited for that day that we get to see that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because it is always funny to watch fighters as they're evolving and growing, and you do see completely different game plans and completely different, strategies. And it's like, was that planned? Is he trying to prove a point? Was this I'm going to beat you at your thing, or was this just what came naturally? But it sounds like you have the plan. Whether you stick to the plan or not, it's a whole different world. But there is a plan when you're heading down that walk.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we appreciate you being here for sure. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for not busting my balls too bad. I'll leave the round lines alone. and hopefully you're just far more affordable in your next fight. So the minus 3,000 number isn't so crazy. But congratulations on literally everything.
Man. I got one more thing, man.
Yeah, got all day.
You said I'm not something special like Bo Nickel, blah, 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 blah.
It doesn't sound like anything I would say.
That's what you said, brother. I know that's what you said.
Bo Nickel's an Olympian.
Brother, I'm that level too. I just never did it. You can ask Bo. You can ask him. I grew up wrestling him almost every weekend, brother.
Oh, did you really? Oh, because, why? How? You were completely different weight.
We're the same size. At one point.
Were you really?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. Wow. His dad knows me. His dad and my grandpa would always be talking at tournaments, and then he'd send me out there to go get slaughtered real quick by Bo, and then, What
age is this?
I don't know. Like, I think it was from
like high school or college?
No, it was before that. It was when we were kids. It was like
okay,
probably like 10 to 14-ish. Like,
that's awesome.
The same size. And yeah, he's awesome wrestler, man.
Wow. Listen to Angelo's tone now, huh?
What's crazy?
I'm saying, I'm one of the best in the world, brother. Don't get it twisted.
Let him know, man. Let him fucking know. Let him know, Isaac. Fuck this dude. Fuck you, Angelo. You don't know fucking shit about this dude. It's a future champ. Show some fucking respect, asshole.
I'm the most
Call him sir
person in this space. See how he's acting?
Call him sir.
I'm normal. When he's acting like that, I'm like, God damn it, I needed that under. That's the difference in level of energy with the comments being made. But clearly the domination has been crazy. I am curious to see the next matchup, and I do want to see the step up in competition, just
for sure.
Slowly, because if you go too much too soon, then you are stuck. You can't fight number 8 in the world and go back down to 20 or whatever it is. So I am curious to see what's next.
100%, brother. Thank you guys for having me, man.
No, you're the man,
problem.
Dude. I appreciate you.
Thanks for hopping on, and thanks for being cool.
Enjoy those bikes tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Will do, man. Y'all have a good time.
All right. I appreciate you, man.
All right.
See ya.
See y'all.
Thanks for joining. You just love pointing out. I'm gonna get somebody to come on that you said, because I don't even say wild shit. You say wild shit.
Well, I didn't even read the messages I could have read because I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, that I appreciate.
I was like, yeah, he's not gonna like those.
What's funny is we got a whole bunch of callers. We're gonna take the calls. You guys are just a few minutes late. We got Sam, couple minutes late. Missed Isaac.
Yo,
what's going on, Sam?
Let's go front double buy.
What's up, brother? How we going? I don't even work out, to be honest with you.
No.
No. I know, crazy. No, but I actually really wanted to ask Isaac Dulgarian a question. I was just fucking fixed on playing some Call of Duty. That's why I was like 45 minutes late. I was looking at like 12. I was like, oh, yeah, it's at 1 o'clock my time, but then that's all right. Get to talk to you guys. It's just as good. Jacob, congratulations on all the success you've been having on Lock of the Week, man. Honestly, you're on an absolute tear, and I'm excited for it to keep rolling. And
can I, real quick, can I tell
you
that I do see your comments on my videos, and I appreciate those comments.
No, that's so good, man. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you get a lot of comments. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't see them. You guys are blowing up like the World Trade Center.
I see yours. For sure, I appreciate it. That sounds sarcastic, but it's real.
It did sound sarcastic, but I know it's true too. But
because he says real nice stuff.
No, that's so good. I just want to come on and say that I am well. There's nothing wrong with me. I did call in from
Jacob
the hospital.
wasn't on that show. You called in from the hospital. So what are you doing? I just have heart attacks randomly.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, it's cardiac arrest though, not heart attacks. Actually, bypass the heart attack stage and basically just fall over. But yeah, it's a electromagnetic like brain synapses issue where it basically just stops telling my heart to beat. Yeah.
So how do they tune up your heart, or they tune up your brain when you go there?
No, so they put in nothing. No, I was having like arrhythmia issues. So like my heart felt out of kilter. So I was like, I better go in and see if there's anything wrong.
I did that. I called the cops on myself one night. There was one night where I was sitting on the couch like, and then I went, I gotta call the fucking cops. I'm gonna fucking die. So I feel it too. I've been there, Sam.
No. It's basically I was at work and I was just like working away, not stressed out or anything. And I was like, oh, I just feel a little strange. So I was like, I better head down to the hospital. which just so happened to be a similar time. Yeah, can I get you guys' thoughts on UFC Paris next weekend? I know it's not this weekend, but no UFC. My mind's going crazy. I got to think about something to do in the meantime. Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen. And yes, I've watched your video, Angela. I just wanted to say that I think that Nasruddin Imavov is going to be too much physically for Brendan Allen to handle, because from what I saw of the Chris Curtis performance, I expected him, and I bet him, I played him, I was all over him, and then he just really was lackluster compared to what I thought he was going to be able to do to Chris Curtis.
I picked Nasruddin.
Yeah.
I'm picking fucking Brendan Allen. I fucking love Brendan Allen, and I think that Chris Curtis fight showed kind of. We were just talking to Isaac about how you don't really know if somebody has a quit button until they get in those situations. That was a back and forth dogfight. Brendan Allen was in a bad way in a few of those rounds, and you found out that guy's not gonna fucking quit. And I don't think Imavov, if there's a finishing upside, it just feels like it's going to be all over the Brendan Allen side. Obviously, he can get hit. He definitely loves his striking way too much. And against Imavov, he could run into issues. But I think he finds a way to either find a finish if they start in these scrambles, because Brendan Allen's crazy on the ground, or he finds a way to just kind of tough this shit out, man.
Yeah, I don't know, that too of Imavov, I just see it just piston pumping Brendan Allen clean in the face. Like, I don't know, he's huge.
My thoughts. I think the size difference might be the weirdest thing about Brendan Allen is what the hell is happening to his personality. I thought he was like a nice Louisiana guy. Yeah. And now he's attacking people in casinos, wearing wild shit.
Do you know where he got that hat?
No.
You know, it's actually an interesting story. He was, because, you know, it's like that big furry hat rabbit. He was gifted that hat by Shavkat, and ever since he started wearing it, he hasn't lost.
Why did Shavkat gift it to him? That is cool. Do you know why he gave it to him? Just like
I think they
trained together. Or just
I think they were both at Kill Cliff together.
Gotcha.
Oh, thank you for that snippet of information. That is actually pretty cool. I thought he was just trying to look like a freaking 1700 settler from the U.S. I don't know.
I didn't know. Like, here's a fuzzy hat. And he was like, wow, this is a cool hat. And then he started wearing it and winning. So.
Well, and it's not even the hat. Like, he dresses wild in general, but he attacked Marvin Vettori for no reason. Attacked him.
Well, that make your name.
That was the casino, right?
It was on the casino floor. They're just talking, and he's just like, Rawr. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Just attacking people?
Putting eyes on himself. That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's a bit of a flip. Anyway, that was the only real fight that I was trying to get you guys take on more. I was hoping that you were going to extrapolate a little bit more on that one, Angelo. But you know, I know that you're on the
weird.
On the
I almost had a whole video.
I'm biased for that too, because I really am a Brendan Allen fan. So when I talk about him, it's definitely in a glowing light because I like Brendan Allen. I always have.
Did you guys see the recent Contender Series, the one that just passed?
Yes.
I don't watch Contender Series.
Jacob, what did you think of the Aaron Tal fight?
Which one is that? I don't know their names.
It was the main fight of this recent. It was Aaron Tal versus Elijah Smith.
And what happened to that?
It was it was a straightforward decision. I was just thinking, how did you think of the fight and how it played out?
I know, I'm trying to remember the fight. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to, because I did watch it, but I'm trying to remember.
5'9" Elijah Smith. He's the first, I believe. Angela might correct me on this. I believe he's the first ever second generation UFC fighter.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember that fight.
In the UFC.
In the UFC. Yeah.
Because Ryan Couture and Randy both fought.
Yeah. Because he went to his wrestling. Oh, because he almost got finished in the third, right? He was real tired in the third. Yeah, okay, I remember now.
Yeah. What did you think of that fight? From both sides.
I thought that the son guy that was wrestling, the black kid, was fucking. I thought he was really good. Looked really clean because he's supposed to be a wrestler, right? He's a wrestler and a grappler. And then,
they introduced him as a grappler, but he's got like 6 KO finishes. I
know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's known for being a grappler, but he came in with really fucking clean hands and looked confident, was landing some good shots. And then, like we just talked about with Brendan Allen, we just talked about it with Isaac, doesn't have the quit button because he could have fucking quit in that third round.
Yeah.
And he fucking gutted it out.
For sure, yeah.
And was trying to throw it back.
That's why
that was one of the crazy, Angela, what we're talking about it was literally one of the craziest third rounds I've seen. It was basically like the last 10 seconds of Gagey Holloway, but it lasted for like 2.5 minutes. It was like crazy.
Just went at it.
Yeah.
In the words of Angelo, these two gentlemen got into a slug fight.
That literally was a slug fight. That was crazy.
There you go. See? Yeah, that's fantastic. I love this. I should watch. The problem for me with Contender Series is it's early. Like my kids are still up.
It's just the timing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally the time. I hate The Ultimate Fighter. I've talked about that before. There's no commentary. There's no fans. You hear nothing. You hear just foot squeaks. It's the worst. I hate it. But at least Contender Series, you have commentators and stuff like that.
Oh, those fights are always so good.
Yeah, I have no problem with the fights. They're just early.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I honestly feel bad for people because I never watched it, and then we started doing this, and then I live streamed last year a couple times, and it took like 2 live streams. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. These fights are fucking incredible. These guys are trying to fight. They're literally fighting for their fucking lives.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched your week 4, I think it was week 4 Dana White's Contender Series live video. Like I sat and watched some of it live because I was at work doing the rest of it, and honestly, you were very entertaining on that. I was like, this is gas, you know, because you're even more like animated than you are in these videos. You know, you're jumping and you're just whoa, fucking, you know, it's just.
Well, that's what I don't think people realize. Like that's if I was like that watching fights on Angelo's couch before we even started doing this stuff. Like that's just how I watch fights. That literally is just me watching fight. I'm so competitive. If I ever watch any sport or anything, I'm off the couch. I'm in front of the TV. You know, it's like fucking. That's just how I react to fucking anything. It's even more fun in Contender Series because I don't know who the fighters are. So I have no idea. At least, like on the UFC streams, I kind of know how a fight's going to go and something won't really surprise me. Contender Series, I have no idea what the fuck is about to happen. So it's like everything is like, whoa!
It was the Shannon Clark one, that's right. And I was watching it, I hadn't watched any of them previously, and you were like, when they're walking out, you're like, oh yeah, I'm liking his energy. You're like, I'm putting a bet on this guy. I was like, this is
one with the big tits?
Just roll the dice, you know, like.
Was it the one that, the plus 900, the one that had the monster tits that I fucking put $50 on? And fucking...
I'll be honest, I had $200 on Shannon Clark and I got wiped, and I was like, you know, that's all my own fault. Like betting on this level of like MMA was just all my own fault. But yeah.
Being that big of a favorite in a low-level fist fight is crazy.
Dude, she walked in, the big favorite walked into into the middle and went like this.
Yeah.
She was fighting like this. And they got cracked once. It was like, oh no. Come on. I just get fucking slept. The second she started throwing strikes, I was like, oh, we got a fucking chance here. I was like, oh my God. Dude, this first exchange, I was like, oh my God, we might fucking hit this shit.
It was the first time she like kind of took a knee after taking a right hand. I was like, my money's gone. I was like, it's dead.
It is crazy watching when you have the money on that side or whatever, and you see like, oh, I'm fucked. I had that, and it didn't go that way, but I had that with Andre Petrosky a few weeks ago. Because I was just like, ooh, these exchanges are not going well, and he's not shooting.
With Budka?
Yeah. I literally was like, oh, he's getting knocked out. I'm screwed.
I was actually watching a lot of that. People were like, yeah, Dylan Budka sucks. How could anyone think that Dylan Budka could have won that? And I was watching it and I was like, look, he obviously is missing some like key get up stuff, but he was giving shades of like a fighter that would give you problems. If he could sort out the takedown defense, he looked like he was going to be
Dylan Budka? Are you talking about Dylan Budka?
Yeah.
Dude, he's terrible. And he quit.
Right. Listen,
he does quit. He does quit.
Yeah, but the way that people were torching him online were acting like he had no chance there and stuff. I was like, I mean, he got control.
People are fucking torching him because he posted a picture of himself before his UFC debut, said the new face of the UFC, went in there, tried for 5 minutes to get a takedown, and then was like, all right, I'm going to head home. You bring that upon yourself when you do shit like that. Sorry, but that's just what happens.
The biggest gaslight in history were the commentators in that fight talking about how Dylan was an Olympic hopeful, only to watch that idiot not be able to defend or get a takedown. It's like this was an Olympic. He blamed his failed Olympic career on COVID, and he couldn't defend mediocre takedowns. It's like, what? You're gaslighting me into thinking that this guy's an Olympian? Like, what are we doing?
Special Olympics.
Hey, he could be on the Australian Olympic breakdowns team. Maybe that's where his Olympic dreams could be reignited. I just wanted to say, you said you don't watch them, Angelo. Did you, Jacob, get a chance to get your eyes on Navajo Sterling on Dana White's Contender Series? This is Philip Latu.
You have to describe the people.
6'4", 83-inch reach. He is a New Zealander. Philip Latu, Navajo Sterling. He knocked him out with a left hook.
Latu.
Yeah. Round 2, left hook. He held up a high guard. Yeah. Navajo Sterling.
When was this? This was this week?
Bro, do you smoke weed? This memory of yours is
No, that was last week. I didn't watch last week.
You didn't watch it at all?
No,
You don't watch the replays or anything?
No, I didn't watch last week. Sorry.
I won about $2,500 on Navajo.
He's accused you of abusing drugs. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, I was curious. I made a question. I didn't accuse him. It's not the same thing.
Listen, I'm not on drugs.
Yeah, well, now we know
we
he's
have
an
your
addict.
loved ones here. Let's bring his mom in. Jacob's mom is here. She has a letter she'd like to read to you.
But Navajo Sterling, he fights out of CKB, main training partner of Israel Adesanya and Carlos Ulberg. He won by second round knockout. Looked like a beast in there. I highly recommend you go back and watch it because he's fighting again on December 16th against Tokos, the opponent of Umar Sai. And he's going to fucking flatline that dude, bro.
That was
He's
a lot of words, but it made me.
Dude,
it reminded me that the main event this week was the guy had the tattoo, right? He had the tattoo beard or whatever.
Yeah.
He's the one that. Yeah, he was the.
Irontown.
Yeah, he's also from City Kickboxing. He is terrible.
I bet $50 on Irontown. I bet $2,000 on Navajo Sterling.
I know,
so
but I'm
to
saying
put my confidence-
because I'm saying this guy. I don't know how he's at City Kickboxing. He is not very.
Well,
good.
he's a grappler, and it's not that he's not very good. It's he's fighting guys who
New
is very
Zealanders.
good.
Dude, I watched him.
Struggling with
Dude,
the
I
feedback.
watched him throw one like a step in jab during his highlights or when he was like hitting pads, and I was like, oh, I'm betting against him. I didn't even care what the other guy was. I mean, it was like. It was like the timing was off. I was like, this guy's at City Kickboxing, and even when Dan Hooker and stuff were talking about them, they were like, yeah, he's a great teammate. I'm like, this is the guy that
Good
Kaikar
locker
Franz
room
just
guy, a good
just beats
locker
the
room.
shit out of every fucking day. Just Kaikar Franz is like, here, go spar with this guy. But crazy
fair,
tough. Crazy tough.
He's 5'4". I think if he was fighting somebody else who was 5'4", like I think he's got the same frame as like Davison. No, smaller than Davison Figueiredo. So he definitely should be at flyweight. If he actually was, although he's 31 years old, he's not going to get another UFC opportunity. I love New Zealand fighters, but like he didn't win. He's not going to get another UFC opportunity. You know, like it just is what it is. He's not young. Whereas, you know, if he was 26 years old, maybe he could drop weight class, put some wins together, come back. But I'm sure by the time he's 32, 33, they're not going to be interested.
Yeah, I mean, he is a tough dude, and he is fucking absolutely terrifying. He's got one of those the tribal things. A lot of people I've seen like just on the chin, but he's got like the whole like beard, Angelo, like the tribal tattoo or something.
I met him at UFC 305. He was there just in the crowd at the presser, and he's honestly like has aura. Even though he's such a small dude, he had all the aura of that you could imagine. But tough dude, but not going to be in the UFC.
Do you know about that culture?
The Māori culture? Yeah, I'm from New Zealand.
Well, I didn't know because they
no,
because they said that's a sign of like power and prestige, right? If you have like the tattoo of like the bit of the tattoo or something, or
you have to get approved to get them. You can't just go out and be like, I'm just gonna go get this tattoo. You have to like go through your culture and like your community to get it approved. You know,
right?
And I don't think you choose it as well. I think that they basically give it to you.
Yeah, and I've seen females get them as well. I've seen the
they get like the little ones,
like the little ones on the chin and stuff like that.
Yeah, some have like a full face one, and honestly, look menacing as fuck. Like you just see them, like you'll be walking out of a shop, and you're like, "Whoa, what the fuck's up with this guy's face?" You know. But
just naturally big people too. Usually,
yeah. So, some of them, it's I'm not exactly that small, so it's
everyone's
in
small
reference
to you type of thing. Okay, I get it.
No. I just mean like, you know,
how tall are you? 6'3"?
No, I'm 5'11" and a half. I'm 6 foot in boots. You know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not that small.
Sitting here acting like he's 6'3", 6'4".
Kind of.
Yeah. I didn't say I'm a giant where I come from. I tower over my people.
You know what's funny is you said 6 foot in boots, because I always say I'm 6 foot
That's
at
what
weddings.
Jacob said at
no,
weddings.
I'd say at weddings because at weddings you're wearing dress shoes. I'm like, you ask me how tall I am. I'm 6 foot at weddings.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all that matters. That's the only time that it's important to be tall is if you're taking pictures with the girl at a wedding. There you go. Well, guess what? I'm 6 foot at a wedding.
I stopped growing when I was 12, and I played rugby, which is like New Zealand's equivalent to American football. And my coach was like,
you thought you were going to be
huge,
fucking,
you know?
yeah, you were going to be the brute.
I thought I was going to be like 6'4", 6'5". I was like, hell yeah, 12 years old, and then just everyone else just caught up to me.
You know, it's funny. You know, I have a funny story about, and I think Angela's going to appreciate this too, because I was teeny tiny like my entire life. On my driver's license at 6'3", on my driver's license I was 5'3", 90 pounds. Like I was teeny tiny. So as a kid, because I was so small, I got a lot of tests done and stuff. And they did bone scans, they did all this stuff. And if I guess when you're a kid, if you can get the growth plate scanned in your wrist, and they can pretty much tell you how tall you're going to end up being. Well,
is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it isn't anymore, and they thought you could because it didn't work for me, thank God.
Right?
Because I was teeny tiny, and I don't come from a small family. I have aunts that are 5'10". My dad's 6 foot. I have uncles that are 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
I tall people. I have uncles that are 6'5" and stuff like that. So I'm definitely the runt. But as a kid, you know, I had these tests done. I remember the doctor coming in and her being like, "Oh, we got your results back with some other tests. Oh, by the way, we got your growth plate done, or whatever." And I was like, "How tall am I gonna be?" And she was like, looks like about." She literally, dude, I'm probably like, how old was I? Probably 10 or 11 at this time. So I understood how important height was at this point in my life. Whatever. You know what I mean? I was already like so small, but my dad was also small as a kid, and then he grew up to be about 6 foot. My uncle was also, so it was like I was always hoping like, oh, I'm gonna be 6'2", 6'3", whatever. She opens up this fucking chart. She looks me dead in the eye, and she goes, and let me finish the whole thing, because this is the exact tone, this is the exact everything she said, because I remember it like it was yesterday. She goes like this, opens up a page and goes, looks like you're gonna be about 5'8", but that's a good height. And I remember hearing 5'8" being like, no. And thank God I fucking blew past 5'8".
Yeah,
but I was worried about
past it.
I was worried about it.
Sam, we got to let you go. We got other calls.
No, that's for sure. Thank you for letting me on. Appreciate it.
We appreciate
I kind
you.
of like
Sorry
Sam.
I like Sam too, but you know, there's people waiting. This dude Serpico or whatever the hell has been shadow boxing for 30 minutes waiting to come on. So let's see what
let's see what he's got
put up here.
Yeah. See you later, gentlemen.
See ya. All right, Scorpio. What the hell are you doing? Where? Oh my God, he is in a dungeon.
Let's get the double buy.
Yeah.
There we go. It's better than Sam.
Oh, dude, did he wait this long and have no audio? He sure did. Nope. Oh,
make sure it's
I'll give you a second.
The right device. He's got a real microphone, so
the dude's been waiting for a half an hour. I'll give you a second here.
Select the device.
Yeah, click settings. You should see his settings.
Almost.
It was there for half a second. What are you doing?
I like that tongue, though, huh? Kind of like that tongue, huh?
You know, he's been waiting so long, shadow boxing, relaxing. All right, I'm going to go. I'm not going to kick you. I'm going to go to somebody else while you try to sort
some rage in him.
Yeah, maybe leave and come back. I'll put you on.
He looks like he might throw that fist through that fucking monitor.
Well, there's somebody tied up behind that shower curtain for sure. And that person's about to catch a beating when he doesn't get this microphone.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It says
he's got to move the body.
He just started unplugging shit.
He's got to move the body.
Hold on. All right, talk again. Let's see if we can hear you. We cannot hear you. Okay, do this. Leave, come back. When you come back, select your microphone. All right, I'm going to go to somebody else. You sort that out. Poor guy. He literally was waiting for. I could hear you. What are you outside? I hear crickets.
Hello.
Hello. Are you? Why do I hear crickets?
Oh shit! My window's open.
Oh, I don't care.
No, it sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
It sounds so relaxing.
Oh, excellent.
Where do you live?
I'm from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. So it was about 50, 60 degrees out right now?
It's probably in the 50s, maybe.
And you
60s,
got the window open? A little breeze coming through?
Yeah, a little breeze.
Oh, my God.
Breeze.
That's fucking beautiful, man. You
I
mind if I come
love
over?
What?
You 18? What?
Mostly.
How much? What size is that bed? You got a queen? King? What are you rocking with?
It's a full.
It's a full. That's fine.
All right.
It'll work.
Jacob's not big. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll work.
All right. Enough of that. Listen, I like Rhode Island. The beaches are an absolute overrated sham. It's just rocks. Those aren't real beaches.
You're going to the wrong beaches then. I don't know.
Ooh.
They're all rocks.
That's Connecticut talk. I don't.
But I did just watch an excellent show on Netflix. It's only 6 episodes. It takes place in Nantucket, not in Rhode Island, but it's called The Perfect Couple. Fantastic show. Excellent show.
Oh,
absolutely love it.
Yeah.
As a Rhode Islander, you might enjoy it. Same scenery.
Yeah, I've heard of it for sure. I'll check that out. But I was going to ask, I watched the vlog, and as a New Englander, I was pretty confused by this golf cart situation you have going on.
What's wrong with it?
What is that, and how does that work?
Well, Angel's legs don't work, so
is that like an AIDS side effect?
Yeah, okay, listen. No, we have the community I live in, people we back up to a giant park, so people take the golf cart to the park, and then you can cross the main road. You can't drive on the main road, but you can cross the main road, and there's another massive community over there. So a lot of people have golf carts to get to and from the park, to go to the other community. It's not Florida. You can't go up and down the roads like living that life. But if you stay within your community, and you can cross roads, cross them with a speed limit of 45 miles an hour. So that's what we do.
I see.
Yeah. That's what you watch.
You know, it's funny, but you know a funny golf cart story is, and Angelo can't even really deny this because it's true. Angelo, middle of the day, used to come and pick me up in his golf cart in Florida, and we would go and listen. We'd go to the park and listen to music and
play pickleball.
Well, there was a little bit more.
No, it was only pickleball.
We would go and and he'd be like, "Look, these are messages from Glover. Look, I know Glover. Wow." And I'd be like, "Wow." I'd be like, "Wow, you're like a celebrity, right?" And you're like, "Yeah." You want a hug? And like, "Yeah." Let's hug. But we used to.
Go ahead.
Speaking of Glover, I watched your video too about the Perea Roundtree matchup, which I thought was a great defense of that. Yeah, I'm definitely a Khalil fan. I really like the sort of Muay Thai style. But yeah, I don't know. It felt really unfair to me. Some of the, I know Jamal made the point, Jamal Hill pointed out, well,
he's injured and he was knocked out, so he's got nothing to say. Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I don't know.
Did you know the background of Khalil? Everybody's saying Khalil failed a drug test, got suspended. He self-reported saying this supplement I took was tainted. And then he self-reported. They didn't catch him. He self-reported it. And then they tested the supplement. The supplement was tainted. They did a suspension. And then they tested him again, and it was out of his system. It's the narrative of he failed a drug test. He didn't. He self-reported and said, I took this. It is known to be tainted. It's tainted. This is what's going on. So very, interesting circumstances.
Yeah. No, I don't think he should really be faulted for that, even though it's hard, right? Because you don't want to necessarily reward that, but
it
really
was
didn't do anything wrong.
Correct. It was honest and transparent for a tainted supplement. He didn't say, I took this banned substance. He said, this is known to be tainted. So very different circumstance. But, if you guys didn't watch, I'm going to do more of these hot take type videos. Just 5-6 minute, here's my opinion on this one very specific topic. Jacob's writing Portuguese to Amanda who's in the chat. So that's what the hell is going on.
Muito bom.
That's what's going on over there.
Com licença. Tudo bem.
Good Portuguese.
Boa noite, Amanda. You eat potato, she says.
She said you built like potato. But my whole point, the only person you can argue that deserved a title shot over Khalil is Ankalaev. But the reality is he had a title shot and he blew it. And then he no-contested Johnny Walker, then finished Johnny Walker. And people were like, oh, who did Khalil beat? He beat Anthony Smith, who got a title shot. LOL. No, he beat 5 people in a row, and Anthony Smith was the last one. And
yeah,
Ankalaev,
I think that's a good.
Honestly, the UFC, and everybody's just ignoring the fact, dude, Alex Pereira has saved the UFC's ass on multiple occasions now. It's okay if they give him one. It's okay if anybody's earned one, it's Alex Pereira. Give him one. And I actually think this is a really tough matchup anyway. I don't think Khalil Roundtree is just...
Yeah, no, I don't think this is...
Minus 550 is nuts. Do you agree with that, Jacob? Minus 550 for Alex is
I'm off
crazy.
it. I too many people are on it. There's
now it's best
there's
full
literally
swing back
too
to
many.
Alex.
Yeah, there literally is like I've heard so many people in our Discord being like, dude, he's got. And my initial lean was he's fucking fast. Alex does get hit. But I'm off it now. I mean, Alex is already in Salt Lake City 3 weeks out. I mean, it's not like he thinks this is going to be a cakewalk. He's not showing up fight week and just going to go through the motions. I mean, this guy knows, like, he gets through this one, and now he's set up for, John Jones' name's out there, Tom Aspinall's name's out there. You even have him talk about DDP. If you lose this one somehow, you're kind of fucking all that shit up. So, not that he can't do stuff even if he loses it, but, I mean, you got to get through this one, and then,
I agree with you. What else you got for us, Jack? I'm going to see if I can get Scorpio back on here with his microphone situation.
One last question I wanted to ask was, right now, what would you say is the most competitive division?
Let me pull up the rankings.
45?
Because I think it's probably featherweight.
Yeah, it's 45 probably.
Yeah, 45
it's not 30. It's not 35. There's some good competition in there, but they've all
women's 115. What about women's 115? You got some real fucking contenders about to show up. You got a real big fight in December in Tampa Bay. I can't wait to be there. Amanda Hebos versus Mackenzie Dern, number 2.
Dude, I don't think it's 40. I don't think it's 45.
Hebos just toss her around the octagon for 15 minutes. Could find a finish. Can't wait. Right. Last time I was in the arena. Right, was UFC 285 where I met Amanda Hebos, and it was a lot of fun. I'll be there. There's no doubt about that. Can't wait to see it.
Okay, you got that out of your system?
All right, I'm done now.
Okay, good. Okay, it's not 145 pound because yes, Ilya's at the top. Volk is a little older. Then you got Holloway, Diego Lopez, Yair, Brian Ortega, who just got smoked. Mosvar's kind of boring.
I think Ilya's beatable. I think a bunch of those guys could beat him.
I think Evloev can beat Ilya. I'm really high on Ilya, but I think Evloev can beat him.
I think the most competitive division is welterweight.
I was going to say that.
Undefeated Shavkat. You have Jack Della Maddalena. You have Sean Brady, who looked better than ever. Undefeated Ian Gary. Like, there's a lot of people in here that still haven't lost when every one of these other
Jack
top
Della
10
smokes
rankings.
them all.
Maybe. If his arm...
What are you laughing for, Jack? What the fuck are you laughing for?
Dude, I'm just saying, if Shavkat fights
dude.
Jack, it's not going to be close.
Yeah, I agree. It isn't. Jack Della just rips his head off.
Shavkat by sub.
We appreciate you calling in, Jack. Call in again.
Keep that mustache strong, man.
Bring the stash next time.
It'll be longer next time, hopefully.
Keep that strong. You conditioning that thing? You got some wax on there? You got oils and stuff you're using?
Oh, yeah, it gets oiled once a week for sure.
Okay, thank God. Some people just try to just dry run that shit. Angelo can't grow facial hair, but I actually, if you look at this picture, I actually had a full beard at the time, so I understand all about the waxing.
Did Angelo have a beard before the AIDS, or?
Oh, bad connection. Look what happened there. His internet went out. Very untimely. Scorpio, did you figure it out? Oh, I see that you're muted.
Unmute it, and then you're good.
You should be good.
Yo,
hey, you got it. There we go.
There we go. Soon my computer had a fucking random mic as the default.
Yeah.
I couldn't switch it.
No worries. What's going on? First of all, what goes on in this dungeon?
Just a lot of shadow boxing.
Yeah, I saw. I saw.
And chains, and that's where half of Diddy's baby oil was kept. Was in that?
No, his 498 dildos that they seized or whatever. You saw that?
It was like 1,000 pounds of baby oil or something.
What a freak. Well, what's going on? What do you got for us?
I gotta show Jacob this. This is a 4 out of 5 Mackenzie Dern
Get
autograph.
that shit. You know that Amanda's in the chat right now. You understand that?
I don't have anything signed from.
How disrespectful,
Amanda. Not yet.
Well, what's going on? What do you got for us?
All I gotta say is Diego Lopez is a fucking monster. He's coming for the belt. If not, Gene Silva. I want to see Gene Silva versus Taporia.
Gene might take this fight. There's a lot of running hot steam that Gene Silva is going to take this fight versus Evloev in a couple weeks, and I don't know if I want that for Gene.
No, that's a bad idea. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Dude, Evloev is a technical striker and a boring-ass wrestler. And you're going to lose, and it's going to be boring.
And I know that, and I love John Silva, and he's obviously good, but he can get taken down, and you can't muscle your way out of those Russians' takedowns. Like, you just can't. You have to have really good technique, and you have to be able to counter wrestle their wrestling as well. And he can't really counter wrestle. And that whole like explosion and like roll out of this stuff, like that works the first few times. But Evloev doesn't get fucking tired. That's crazy. He's like Merab, but he doesn't push the pace. But he's a fucking machine. He's been in wars. He's been tested. He's a fucking animal, dude. I love Evloev.
It is. That would be a bad match. I like Evloev a lot. Yeah, that would be a bad matchup. Evloev is the reason that I underestimated Diego Lopez for so long. I'm like, he got smoked here, but then it's like, oh,
dude, he was the biggest. He was gonna be my biggest bet of all time. I had already put $1,300 or $1,400 on Evloev, like at minus 145, minus 155, minus 180. It finally was moving to minus 225. So even if they rebook it, we're not gonna get the same odds. But Evloev under minus 250 against Aljo was a fucking gift.
Yeah, he would have smoked Aljo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lost all that.
There's a big difference in the striking, even in the grappling.
So I don't know what Aljo would do to him, except for like some Hail Mary submission. But even Evloev has shown that he can get out of those submissions too. Like, I mean, so.
Yeah, Diego had him wrapped up. So.
He's been wrapped up a few times. I think even Arnold Allen had him in almost like a power ninja choke or something. I think that he had him in something. He just kind of gator rolls through it, and he's good to go. So.
I was gonna ask too. What kind of matchups would you want to see after Merab beat O'Malley? I got a couple in mind.
I think it's got to be my dream card for that type of fight would be I want Abu Dhabi in the spring. I want the main event to be Islam versus Arman, right? Because that'll be crazy, and that's the next matchup. And the co-main to be Merab versus Umar. I think
Umar smokes him. Merab looked great. I think Umar smokes him because
Umar.
Yeah, Umar's such a good striker.
Yeah, nobody beats Umar.
And he's got the wrestling. I agree with that. I do think.
But I do always say that you do have to counter wrestle the wrestler, and if Merab does because Merab wasn't. That's what everyone said. Like, Merab was just typical Merab. And it's like, no, Merab fought a completely different fight against Sean. He was very patient. He waited for those takedowns. He didn't shoot instantly. But if he does bring that fucking crazy pace and takes the wrestling to Umar, that's how you beat these guys. You have to be able to counter wrestle these Russian dudes. And maybe Merab can just kind of push that pace and wear Umar down and steal some late rounds and stuff. But Umar's so good.
I do think, is it Scorpio? Is that what the hell I'm looking at here? What's that X? I think I saw a meme where it was Sean O'Malley and he was like turning into
Figgy.
No.
Dagestani?
Oh, no. Garbrandt?
Garbrandt. Like, he's just never going to win again is the point. Yeah. I actually think that's, honestly, like, me and a web guy, Josh, talked about this a few times. The road to the title for Sean O'Malley was very strategic. And he skipped Corey Sandhagen. He skipped a lot of these good wrestlers and just, right to the title. Now, yeah, literally. Like if you're looking at the top 10, it's like Song Yadong is the best matchup in the top 10 for him. That's the best remaining matchup.
I think if Dana's watching this, they should make Figgy versus Peter Yan, and then once O'Malley's done with his surgery, he fights Sandhagen.
But if I'm Figgy, I don't mind the Sandhagen fight. But if I'm Figgy, I think he's done enough to earn a title shot. Like maybe he has to wait for Umar to get it, and then he's going to fight Umar. Like maybe he has to wait until next summer or whatever. But if you're Figgy, I just sit out, man. You've already became the champ. And another thing, you don't have to fight. Like, you've earned your way in this division already. People are already talking about you maybe even getting a shot over Umar. Fucking sit it out. Let them fight. Whoever's the champ, you fight them next summer. I don't know why he would want to fight Petr Yan again. I know people want that, and obviously, Petr, you want that fight because you could be the number one contender basically after that. But if I'm Figgy, I fucking just say, fuck you. I'm sitting it out. I want a title shot, and that's what I'm here for.
Well, he's old. He's a former champ. He doesn't have
he's
a ton
not old, but he is older,
Yeah, he's too old to lose a fight and then work his way to a title again.
Yeah. Your next fight should be your title fight. I would sit out for it.
Yeah, for sure. Corey Sandhagen's a miserable matchup for everybody outside of Umar, and I think Morant beats him too. But Corey Sandhagen outside of them is a miserable matchup.
You guys have any early predictions for Topuria and Holloway? I'm going to Abu Dhabi. I bought the hotel, the flight, and the UFC ticket today. Yeah,
that's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, that is gonna be cool.
I went last year for Volkanovski versus Islam 2. I went.
Was it like everything you imagined it being?
It was crazy.
That is crazy. What does it cost? Awesome. Like, is it affordable? Obviously, you got to fly.
Yeah,
like, is the hotel a reasonable price?
$10K?
Nah, I got level 100 tickets. The hotels. I'm going to Dubai for 4 days and then Abu Dhabi for the other 4 days. So I got 2 hotels, the flight, and the UFC ticket. It was around $2,000. It's not that much.
What the fuck?
Wait, $2,000 for all
I'll go every fucking weekend.
Yeah, $2,000 USD.
I'll fucking go every weekend.
For everything, yeah.
Damn, the government must be subsidizing that because that's ridiculous.
And last year when I went, the food and everything, taxis, everything was so cheap.
Damn, how long is that flight? Where do you live?
I live in Chicago. It's
so
like
how long is it
17, 18 hours.
Oh,
horrible! It's a horrible flight.
I can't do that, dude. No way. Is that?
I also
you just train a regular ass seat.
I also train at Bilal Muhammad's first gym before he switched to his other gym with Bahamandas and Pena and all them. Yeah.
Is he a good dude? I only hear he's a good dude.
He's huge in person. I seen him in the gym a couple times. He's fucking huge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't look that big. He looks jacked, obviously, but he doesn't look...
His shoulder definition is unreal. It's crazy. Really gets me going.
Okay. What else you got for us before I shut this thing down?
Everyone in the chat, go bet Jacob's lock of the weeks. They're fucking locks every single week.
Dude, when you leaned in and said everyone in the chat my mouse went to the kick this dude off button so fast. I was like, what is he about to say?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate you for sure. Thanks for calling in, and call in next time.
All right. See y'all.
See ya. All right, Jakey boy, we got a couple of super chats, and then we'll shut this bitch down.
We didn't even answer his question.
What was his question?
Max or Ilya?
Oh, we both think Ilya wins. So,
unfortunately,
yes. Yeah, I would be the happiest person in the world to watch Max win that fight. And I think most people would probably be that category. This was from the Next Lennon. He said, "This is from the Fight Foods vlog."
Oh, Billy. Oh, Billy.
Why is it that the commentators ride one side the entire time, no matter what? And that was in the commentary. I forget what fight it was, where Joe Rogan in multiple fights. I don't know if you noticed this. Just kept insisting. Well, first of all, he did it with Brian Ortega, insisting his striking looked phenomenal.
It's funny that you noticed that and said that. Like you guys were making fun of that in the video or whatever, because I was the exact same way. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
He just got dropped. He literally got dropped in every single round.
Talking about, dude? He's having, it was like a 2-punch combination for Diego, and Ortega like 8-1, barely slipped another. Wow. Ortega's looking clean this round. What?
And in the vlog, Bo cracked me up when after the second round, he got his ass kicked, and then Joe Rogan was like, that was a much better round for Ortega. I was like, dude, he just got, and Bo's like, well, he didn't almost get unconscious.
That wasn't much better.
You're right. That is a better round than what happened before that. Safety parlay gave this dude AIDS. Believe me, I know. Well, I might not do a safety parlay again, or I'm just going to quietly and then just wait till the problem with the safety parlay is it barely missed. It missed by fucking 2 minutes in the Isaac fight. Then last week I shouldn't have even had what's her name in it. I went against my gut.
I was what's funny is
I said she's chinny. If you listen to my breakdown, I'm like, can't trust her, and then I did it anyway.
Yeah, well, you say every outcome you can to try to be right all the time. But
Paris, I was very confident.
When we were doing our breakdown, I don't think you realized I was on the Sousa side. I was very high on Sousa. I was like, she can throw that fucking shit, and you literally said something like, well, that's not good, because you knew that Yasmin was in the safety parlay and stuff too. But I was like, that's what, guys, I don't have anything to do with it, and fucking, I don't give a fuck about. I'll pick against it. I don't give a shit.
What drives me nuts? Listen, I every bet that I place, I want to win. Obviously. What annoyed me, and I texted this to you guys, is the safety parlay missed. But that was one of many bets that I placed. And I was up money on the night. So one single parlay I placed lost, and all of these other bets hit. But the focus is just like, idiot, loser, idiot.
Well, then you see the flip side where I'm a fucking king, and that was the first time I was down money in 7 weeks or something like that, because I had units on Alexa and I had units on Sean. I was down money, but lock of the week hit, so it's like, we're good, baby.
You know what's funny?
Good, baby, 4 in a row.
I literally can't win, because when I was up money, and that card was a bad card for most people, and I was up money, 13% ROI, and I still got hate because one bet lost, and then I got hate because of you, not because you lost, but it's like, Angelo, you're up. What about Jacob? It's like, motherfucker, this is my video and I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about me.
I want to talk about I want to talk about
so I can't win.
One on my what I think, what I know, what I want, what I
Immortal,
like, what I see.
We hit this one already.
I like talking about you usually.
Immortal
but
is also
I want to talk about me.
Immortal with the more money. Immortal, thank you very much for all these super chats. Another one to us. Thank you for having Isaac on the stream. We appreciate you. It's hard to get to all the super chats while we have a guest, so sorry for the delay here. Another one. Let's go Isaac, and then Mookie. All that for 2K. Who's the plug? LMAO. I don't know what this means.
Well, the whole trip is 2K. He said,
he's talking about the
who's your fucking dealer? No, all that is crazy. I'm going to the Apex October 19th. I don't know if there's a fighter that might happen to be in Vegas October 19th for any reason, but I'll be in Vegas October 19th.
I bet you hope. Again. I bet you're hoping people recognize you on that trip, Jakey boy.
Yeah, and I'll be a front row on the couch, and that's just to go to the Apex. It's like $7,000 for tickets and for all in for everything. It's like $7 or $8,000 for $2K to go to Abu Dhabi.
It's 100% has to be the government is subsidizing it. That's the only way that is the price. So that's got, just like, how flights to Vegas are cheap. That's because Las Vegas subsidizes the flights.
Those flights are not cheap. I spent $1,700 on those flights there.
On the flights?
But, yes, but that's also because on the way back,
what airline?
The only thing that was available, Southwest. The only thing that was available as a direct flight, because I don't do connections.
No. Especially we live so close.
Yeah, I'm not fucking doing connections. I'm not flying one time I flew from Vegas to fucking Baltimore, and then to when I lived in Fort Myers. It was the worst travel experience of my life.
Yeah, at least that's the right direction. But
but still, I mean, you fly all the way across the country, and then you got to fly back and down. But the only flight home that was direct at the time that I wanted to leave, because they had like a 6:30 a.m. It's like not fucking doing 6:30. It was like it was like a 1:30 to you get back at like 6 or whatever. Those were about $6.50 a piece. So
I forget what I did last time. It was like a 10 a.m. one, because it was like same thing. It's like I'm not waking up super early, but I got to get the hell out of here. But I hear you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate all of you. Everybody that had questions for Isaac. Thanks, Isaac, for hopping on, being reasonable after all the horrible things I said.
Say boa noite.
Angel Cardona, $1.99, betting 2 minus 500 favorites contains 0 skill. Well, thanks for the $2 and sage advice.
Tell him boa noite.
Boa noite. Good night.
Boa noite.
All right. Boa noite, everybody.